Last second guesses, anybody? This is your last chance. Who did I say earlier? Corin? Or Robin? I think I landed on Robin.
I would prefer not to fight, but there's something I must protect.
I'm kind of annoyed that we were able to predict this somewhat. Defense Res Unity is new, that's cool. They took Myrrh's old dragon sprite and like turned on bevel emboss in Photoshop.
That won't work!
Literally a shiny Myrrh. Pretty cool. Let's see, we should have Joshua here, right? And then 2 red people. They really want us to save for midpoint, don't they? People will pull for Myrrh, maybe. People have pulled for Myrrh in the past, right? Myrrh has actually gotten a lot of love in Fae. She got her armored Halloween ult, which was really strong. She got her harmonized unit, which is strong. And now she has this. I like her battle sprite. I like the colors, like the red and the yellow and the gold. It looks cool. This is Myrrh Emblem, that's right. We have 1 for each color. First impression. I think it's cool. As long as it's not somebody that I feel the need to pull for, I'm happy, because I need to save orbs. I'm almost at 800. I like her art too. She looks good. A slightly unique art style compared to everything else in Fae. Alright, I'm sure her skills are ridiculous. We have Godly Breath. Accelerate special trigger. If a unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts blah -5 on foe during combat, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials by 30%, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. So it's not strictly an enemy phase skill, which is interesting. It's actually player phase. Player phase, and then also if you're within 2 spaces of an ally, which it's trivial to actually activate it, but it kind of implies that she's not necessarily just an enemy phase unit like she usually is. Defense Res Unity, we know what that does. It's cool that it's in the game. I thought that we would get it way sooner. I was starting to think that they would just never do it. Dragon Wall. So she's gonna be really hard to kill. She's gonna have a lot of res. She's gonna get damage reduction. She's gonna get more damage reduction because of Dragon Wall. Darkling Guardian. At start of turn, I saw this warp bubble. Alright, restart. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants defense res +6, foe cannot make a follow-up attack, and warp bubble to unit for 1 turn. What is warp bubble? Is this like anti-warping? Oh, foes cannot warp into spaces within 4 spaces of unit. Does not affect foes with past skills or warp effects from structures like camps and fortresses. Yeah, it is like Gatekeeper. So I guess he now shares that niche with Myrrh. It's kind of interesting. She seems like a pretty good unit. I wouldn't. It's not that her perf is average. It's just that like, I think her defense and res are going to be so high that she doesn't even need to have like a bunch of effects on her perf. She is Gatekeeper but tankier? Yeah. She actually doesn't have distant counter by default. She also doesn't have IO shield. So yeah, not necessarily an enemy phase unit. It's too bad she can't use like, I don't know, Gale Force or something. Seems solid, but also kind of generic damage reduction dragon type. I can see that. Only be seen for SD TBH, another raid boss SD unit. I wonder how useful Warp Bubble will be in practice, because I think in Summoner duels, like, I barely ever see people actually use Warp Bubble. Except for Ashe. That's the exception. But when it comes to like Wings of Mercy and stuff like that, you don't really see that in Summoner duels so much. Based on rough memory, Legendary Fae might be better than her. The auto revive is just... Yeah. That was an interesting thing that Faye had, is like her auto miracle and revive was actually really good, and it's actually pretty annoying to deal with sometimes. Myrrh won't have that, but I think she'll just have so much defense and res and damage reduction that killing her will just be just as hard, if not harder. Also, she's going to be firing off very powerful bonfires. She's a flyer, right? So she can't use steady breath in her seal slot. So that makes it a little more difficult for her to activate bonfire. If Gatekeeper's niche wasn't that good, I'm not that convinced this will be any better as a specific niche. Yeah. It's funny because like Gatekeeper, in theory, is pretty good, but then you barely ever see anybody actually using him. I used him for a little bit in Ether Raids, and he was okay. It's just, I started using other teams instead. I think these Dragon Legendaries must sell well, otherwise they wouldn't keep making them. Right? Alright, check out the banner. Oh, Nemi's here. Alright. On blue, we have Myrrh, Female Byleth, and Sita. So blue is really good. It's a little awkward because you have two new Wind Legendaries color sharing. It's just awkward because, like, ideally you would want different elements, but it's not a huge deal. Sita is water, so you get some variety there. Red has Eliwood, Priam, and Nemi. Some good fodder. Having one Eliwood is good for summoner duels and just for other general use. I think Priam has speed defense ideal, which kind of has a good niche. Green. What the fuck was that? I don't know if I've ever had a voice crack like that. Jesus Christ. If there was literally a hole in my throat, I think that's what I would sound like. What the fuck? Anyway. Green has Edelgard, Dogger, and Byleth. Green is actually the most appealing to me personally, just because I still want Dogger all this time later, and the potential to merge male Byleth is still there. Edelgard kind of whatever, I have her at +0. And then Colorless has Claude, Joshua, and Bremimond. Colorless is also really good. Just because Claude is still an extremely powerful legendary hero, he's kind of broken even still. Bremimond is really good. And then Joshua is also good. So, yeah. If I had to rank the colors, I would go... It's a little hard because I'm biased. I think blue, then colorless, then green, then red. I will not be pulling on the banner myself just because I'm trying to save orbs for whatever comes next, whether it's the midpoint banner or summer. What if the midpoint banner is finally Dawn Brigade? Wouldn't that be cool if that actually happened? I can dream. Or we could get like Tellius Summer. So yeah, I'm not summoning. Legendary Cloud with Speed Smoke 4. Oh, it's so fucked up. I never even thought about that, but you're right, you could totally do that. Midpoint is 3 hopes. Personally, I hope not. No salt thread yet, so we can't tell which one has more comments. PSA, another legendary is scheduled for June. We're back in the standard pattern again, for now. Oh, in-game? It says it in-game? Okay. Note, a legendary hero summoning event is scheduled for the end of June as well. So there you go. We get our mythic and midpoint probably, and then we get our legendary in June. Speaking of the next legendary, let's pull this up real quick. This is the graphic from Tomo no Miko. Shoutouts. So June, probably not red, right? Probably not red. I think it will be blue again. Could it be green? Huh. I don't know, actually. I kind of think it'll be blue again. But then it's like, who would they even do? I think we know what element that legendary is supposed to be. Let's see. The next legendary is Fire in June, based on the season schedule. So we have a Fire legendary coming up in June, and it might be blue again. Blue again would be weird, but I think just looking at the units here, I think it makes the most sense. Legendary colorless tome Corrin. I think maybe Leaf is too old at this point to color share with the new legendary. I think Freya might be too, so that's why I'm thinking it might be blue. I would, if the June legendary is somebody that I want, then that would be a really good color to pull on, because I could merge a new light mythic as well. Yeah, literally people were able to predict this based on the big question mark box. I hate how predictable Faye is sometimes. You know what I mean? Kind of funny how all the legendary mana keeps ended up being blue. That's true. Without the precious salt thread, I'm afraid that Reddit has not that much for us tonight. Alright, I mean, I guess that's it. I really don't have that much to say about this legendary. I think she's cool. Glad she's here. Glad I don't have to spend orbs. You know how it is. In the comments, let me know what you think of the banner. Let me know if you're going to pull. Thank you to the people who hung out with me in chat tonight. I appreciate you. I'll try to do like a separate Faye stream sometime this week where we can catch up on chores and chat. This sure is a legendary hero of all time. That's really the takeaway tonight. Alright, I'm gonna go edit this reaction. Catch you guys later.